A certain Netflix film once said that the first 5 strokes in a painting are the boldest and the strongest. But what happens if you don't finish the painting? As a creative student myself, I've always wondered how I interacted with my creativity and how that was different with other people's. So I decided to ask a couple of my friends some questions. Like, what happens if ideas don't flow through your head?
If you keep drawing and keep just going into different areas and different categories, you eventually find something that connects to what you originally want, and whatever you're struggling with kind of just disappears.
So the way you see, like, not having an idea is more like there is an idea, you just haven't gotten to it yet?
Yeah, you just haven't found it. And if you keep looking, keep discovering, you'll eventually find it.
Some of my best ideas come for design at either 3 in the morning when I'm up super late, or if I'm doing something else and just not thinking about it. Like, say I go for a run outside, I'll be like subconsciously thinking about my project because I'm always stressed and I'm always like, oh, I want to make my work super good. But I'll be out running and then all of a sudden I have this idea and it just hits me.
And even that method is just one way creativity works. There are others, right, Jay?
Yeah, I definitely do feel like that way. I really thrive off like reference photos and things like that. Even doing sketches and things like that is always part of my big creative process. Looking to see what other people are doing, I think really makes me thrive and then makes myself stronger.
You know, some good ideas come from when you're just talking to people. You know, you bounce ideas off each other. And with this all going on, you can't really do that. So, I mean, I've tried to film just clips, honestly. I'm just practicing, trying to get better, because you can never be
too good or too practiced?
Yeah, you can always practice.
And even when you're looking at creativity, you have to take into account the person's mental health and emotional well-being. And I know for sure that the pandemic has had a lot of fun playing with that.
I feel like creativity comes in a form of stress, because sometimes you need to make something in order to be successful, but also it comes as a place where, like I mentioned, like it's a stress relief for me and kind of just like a comfort, safe space.
I feel like there's a direct correlation between how good my mental health is and how productive I could be with my creativity. If I tend to have a bit worse of a mental health at any given time, I always find myself in a creative block. I always find it harder to get out of that creative block. And I feel like just in general, having a better mental health helps me with being creative and being okay with what I'm creating.
So you got collaboration, you have free form of thought, you have mental health. How does the pandemic affect everything else? How does the pandemic affect the way we interact with our creativity and with our art nowadays?
I feel like the pandemic, I feel like I was in a pretty good headspace. I think a lot of people have suffered mentally and emotionally and just psychologically from this. But for me, it didn't really feel like it. But then now that I kind of look back and say, well, I didn't really produce any work during that time, I can say that I guess it has, especially creatively.
I think it's given me some time to reflect a lot more on it, reflect on where I want to be as a designer.
One of the benefits of the pandemic is I get to look at more things that do matter to me and focus more on myself instead of more exterior things such as clubs and things like that, and spend more time with my family and more time with myself and high school friends, which are kind of I think at the basis of my identity.
I feel like most of the things that I've been doing that are creative is mainly trying to get back to the roots of it.
It's definitely allowed a lot of time for reflection, because when I'm not creating new stuff, sometimes I am going back over old footage and just trying to learn color grading or learn different editing things, and I'm always going back and looking at stuff. So I've definitely gone back and noticed some things that I can improve on.
Kind of since the pandemic's happened, I've seen a lot of art just on social media and a whole lot of other places, and it's made me realize that I want to be more expressive in telling a story with what I make.
Oh no, we're out of time. it was such a bad idea interviewing 6 people at a time. I haven't even finished. So you can clearly tell that creativity has been affected by the pandemic. We interact with it in different ways nowadays. Okay, they're playing me out. Okay, bye.